going to be talking about the importance of knowing thyself. The importance of knowing thyself, you guys. So, the spiritual meaning of knowing thyself will be a journey of waking up from your ego, meaning your daily, your drama, your habits, your outer self, external self, and mental stories to realize your true eternal essence, right? Um, because you guys, we're not just a physical body, all right? But pure awareness, all right? Connected to the universe, as is the elements, as is the trees, as every living thing. We are one. So just in acknowledging that in alone, just in acknowledging that alone, just brings you to like a whole another level of awareness, I would say. But moving on to how, you know what I mean? Like, how do you realize your true self? Like, what do you do? First of all, you have to face yourself, your fears, your flaws, your unconscious patterns, and you guys, what true, real, raw honesty. Like, just being honest with yourself and then embracing yourself, right? Accepting yourself, and you get there, you guys. You do that work with sitting with yourself, just sitting with yourself, with your pain, all that stuff you've been suppressing, pushing down, feeling like you don't have time to deal with. Take that time, because I promise you, it's time well spent. Well spent. Like, as you sit with yourself and dig up all those emotions, right? All those, the who's, the whys, why you are how you are, why you click how you click. What happens is, as you sit with yourself and you do this work and you find peace, especially, okay, so basically what we talking about will be shadow work, right? And that's basically just taking time to just go back, because what you see, like, it, okay, I'm gonna use myself for an example. I always will. For me, when I sat down and started doing my shadow work, when I went back, stuff that I missed or wasn't able to fully process as a child, my adult eyes was able to catch that, and I was able to understand certain things. So like that's why sitting with yourself and just being, instead of searching for like outside validation, it's like you find validation within yourself. You validate yourself. Like you don't need no other outside nothing. And in doing that, sitting with yourself, understanding yourself, why you are how you are. Ooh, even deeper, y'all, the birth charts. Like if you get into your birth, for those of you who know, know. But for those of you who don't, like your birth chart tells a whole lot about you, your characteristics, part of how you are how you are, like all different kind of stuff, y'all. So, but in knowing yourself through and through, nobody, nobody can tell you who you are, bruh. Nobody. Nobody. Because you know who you are. You know why you are how you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know yourself through and through. Can't nobody tell you who you are, and they for damn sure can't gaslight you. Because people love to do that. Trying to tell you who you are, what you ain't, dig at your flaws, humble you. They want to do all that. But when you know yourself, you accept yourself, you love yourself, it's nothing that nobody could do to, to tear you down or break your spirit. Practices will be like the deep meditation, um, root chakra meditation for sure. Um, Only because like the grounding and like there's an actual root chakra pose where you like you just lay flat. You just lay down flat on the floor of the ground wherever you at, and you just focus on just being without letting your mind race, just relaxing, but without falling asleep. All right. So that's a good way to start getting into like that deep meditation zone. And like I promise you, like as you start sitting with yourself more, those old feelings and stuff, that stuff dig up some. It'll flare up on its own. Like stuff that needs to be addressed. The universe have a funny way of like bringing stuff up to you, you know. But that's what I'm basically saying. Sitting quiet, reflecting, going back, and y'all, the biggest thing about when you're going back, right? You go back with, and you have compassion for yourself first and everybody that was involved. Like, for real. Like, no judgment, just love and compassion for yourself the most, y'all. And then for everybody else that was involved. All right. All right. And so the next thing would be examining your whys. Like, are you being your true self, or Are you hiding behind the image? If if you have an image, right? And you all right, you got an image, you got a persona. Do you know your motive behind that image? And are you still connected with your true self? Even behind that image, are you connected with your true self? You know? Present moment awareness. All right, that's another practice. We talked about that last week, y'all, on astral traveling. Staying present, staying in the moment. That's a hard thing to do, yet. I don't know if it is for everybody else, but for me, that was a very hard thing to do. Like, it was hard. Like, I used to watch, I used to watch videos probably 5 times, like, cause I will only catch the first couple of minutes. Though I will be like in and out, in and out. But yeah, like that was what we talked about with the yoga pose too. Staying present without falling asleep. Just relaxing, just being, just existing without, you know, no outside noise. You know? Luckily for you guys, right? Luckily for you guys, the being by myself, like I ain't have no other choice. Like I had no other choice. Um, I've been isolated my whole life. Like exile, isolated my whole life. Like everywhere I ever went. Like I don't care what it was. So, but luckily for me, for y'all too. Luckily for y'all, like what the devil meant for evil, God meant for good. For real. Because because I've always been alone so much, I've been able to like not just sit up here and talk about this stuff. I could actually walk you through it because I lived it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's very, very important. Like, I'm going to say imperative that you know yourself, bruh. Sis, why? Because when you know yourself, you not only know when a motherfucker trying to gaslight you, but you also become very, very aware of your own energy. You know what that means? You know when a motherfucker in your energy. Like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, hear that now. Yeah, hear it. Boom, boom. Hey, you know when a motherfucker trying. Like you know when somebody playing in your energy. Like for me, if I know that person's energy, I know who it is. But if I don't know the energy, it's just gonna show up as, you know, but I still know energy that's not mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll get, if you do the work, you'll be able to do the same thing. Like, I promise you will. Um, and the most important part about that is nobody can manipulate your energy because you know what's yours and what's not. Spells don't work on me. See that shit? You get a word, you get a word about it. But because you know your energy, you know who you are. Nobody can manipulate you. Can't nobody run no game on you, no wordplay, none of that. You already know what it is. That's self awareness. All right. And lastly, I kind of don't feel all the way right speaking on knowing thyself without speaking on the Greek philosopher Socrates. Like, he have a complete breakdown on knowing thyself. So you are very welcome to go down that rabbit hole if you would like, on Socrates, or you can just, look it up, or just, I mean, we pretty much went through everything. So, you know, but you guys, I am An-nur, and this has been your episode of Spiritual Talk this week. I love you all. Stay favored. Stay aligned or get aligned if you need to. Get aligned. I love you all. Peace. I'm out.